And we're back with another episode of On the Record with Tiffany and Kevin, and we're talking kidneys because we've got a lot happening. Finally, all of the work that we've been doing over the last 7 years is coming to what I feel like is it's birthing something new in the kidney industry and how we address kidney disease, and that's transparency.
Right.
We have been pushing transparency and showing people their options because, right now we are seeing something that we've never seen in kidney disease before, and that is we have therapeutics that can slow down the progression of the disease. We know what to do lifestyle-wise. Now, as I mentioned in the last segment, once I figured out and met the people who had figured out, it wasn't that I figured it out, but I met the people who figured out that there was a direct connection with African Americans and high blood pressure and kidney disease. Now, we know that, right? Because we all have it.
Everybody know.
Half of us have high blood pressure, so we know that there's a connection. But when they figured out there was a genetic one, that this genetic connection also was telling them that there was even more going on with us. Then I started learning about things like, because I didn't know that, I started meeting these amazing doctors that were really digging down into the blood pressure issue, and they began to realize that, like with me, I had uncontrolled blood pressure. Well, that's the link in APOL1, and now it's called APOL1 mediated kidney disease. So when I got into this, it didn't even have its own name. We didn't have a molecule built. A molecule is how they build therapeutics. So anytime there's a therapeutic, like this is the molecule, and then you build your disease, your medicine on top of that. So that molecule has to be right in order for you to build it. So they didn't even have a molecule built. So my first job in my mind, like no one hired me to do this, but in my mind I was like, okay, I got to inspire these people to get it together. Right. And I just started going and talking to them because doctors are very hierarchical. So you come talking to them and you're not a doctor. They're like, I don't care what you got to say. I'm a doctor.
You didn't do 10 years.
You didn't go to medical school.
Exactly.
Shut it down, sister.
Shut up.
But I managed to talk to them as a human. And I was just like, look, I need you to look at this disease and see me when you're looking at the tissue and see families like mine.
Yes.
Because we are dying and we don't know it.
Oh, yeah.
We're dying and we don't know it. And we're real people. We love our families. We love our communities. But we cannot stop this if you don't do something about it.
That's right.
This particular form of kidney disease, when you get it, it's not like your run-of-the-mill CKD. It moves twice as fast. That's why you see things like a person who's sick are perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden their kidneys are gone. And you're like, well, wait a minute, what happened to Big Mama?
Yeah.
Well, Big Mama, first of all, Big Mama, there's a reason why we're calling her that. So there's a couple of factors going in here. But but some of it might be APOL1. And so once they started helping me to understand that, like what's the connection, they then began to understand, combinations of blood pressure medicines actually will work better for black people. Initially, you get a blood pressure medicine and they go, okay, well that doesn't work. Here, I'm give you this Reginald, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But they began to realize, we're special. we're special snowflakes.
Yeah.
In that
So they get-
it would take different
Yeah.
dosages and different combinations to even work for us.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
and they're going to explain all of this stuff because it is complex, but it is great. So once I started understanding that, right, I was like, we need to know about this. How many of us know about it? Well, the scientists were debating, and I got to be in the room as the scientists were debating. They were like, we don't have anything. We can't go to the black community with nothing. And I remember this amazing doc who really was as sincere as could be, and he was like, I don't want to walk in with nothing. His name's Barry. And Barry stood up and he said, I don't want to walk in with nothing.
Yeah.
I've got 15,000 people that I have cultivated relationships with, and he has in his area. And I want to be able to do something to help them. And I don't want to tell them something when we don't have a way to fix it.
Yeah.
And I said, I said, get out of here with that. I asked them to bring the mic over to me, and I said, no, black people are not children. We're not children. We don't need you to tell us or keep something from us that we should know.
That's right.
You would never consider that with any other
That's right.
ethnic group.
That's right.
So whether your intentions are good, bad, or indifferent, and I don't take away from your sincerity. I think you're sincere.
Yeah.
You got to tell us.
Yeah.
We've got to know what's going on with us. We will saying I don't know is okay in the black community, just like it is in every other community.
Yeah.
And when you don't know something, I don't know.
Hey.
And that's the answer to that.
That's right. We got to take
don't
the
have
cocktail.
anything.
Let us know the cocktail we got.
Exactly.
Get our junk down. Get our sugar. Get our blood pressure down.
And if you don't have something, say we don't have something,
right.
but we're working on
something.
Don't
just have us going around there not knowing anything.
But don't take this attitude that as black folks, we're because that statement is saying you're not intelligent enough or you're not
right
evolved enough to be able to hear that there's something wrong.
That's right.
But we don't have an answer for it. And that's, and I'm like, whether you're trying to say that directly or indirectly, that is what is coming across.
Mm-hmm.
Don't roll like that. Because I can tell you right now, I'm not taking that. I'm going to tell my people what's up.
Right.
Better
than not.
I'm going to tell them what's up. You're going to figure some stuff out because you do, and that's what you guys do. Your job and your calling, just like my calling, is to go talk to people about what's happening. Yours is to look at the smallest details and create the biggest discoveries. Find the biggest discoveries. And I know you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I know you can do it. And really, they are doing that. Over this 7-year period, I have watched SGLT2Is, that's sodium glucose transporter 2 inhibitors. It's like it's a diabetes drug.
Thing,
yeah, we've watched them slow down the progression of kidney disease. We're seeing them really help.
Right.
In this country, in other countries.
And that wasn't available
Heart
like 10
disease
years
too.
ago, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It was available, but they didn't know that it could do what it can do now. There wasn't evidence. The scientific world really works on evidence. So they have to, and it takes time to accumulate evidence. It's not something that after 2 or 3 years, you're like, oh yeah, this works well.
Right.
There's a scientific process to it, and I had to understand that, because my regular person brain says hey, when you figure out something works, give it to people. But they really take the time to make sure, okay, this is going to work. It's going to continue to work, and people are going to benefit. And we see that now. We see it, and they're talking to people about it, But there are barriers that we're overcoming, and part of that is what the medical industry has done in the past. And it's also that you're always dealing with skepticism.
Yes.
People are afraid. Yeah. People are skeptical. That hasn't changed. We see all kinds of, and they have every reason to be skeptical because we've seen a lot of crappy stuff go on in medicine. Yeah. And we've seen a lot of racist stuff go on in medicine.
And people
and still is going on.
When you get the word is incurable, and so people don't even try to go see it. So, I got this, and they say they can't cure it.
That's a frightening word.
And that's why, if they have something to slow the progress of something, kidney disease can be, you can get a new kidney, and you can have a new life,
Yep, so you can get a transplant.
That's right.
But you can also slow down the progression of kidney disease in its early stages. If you catch it in its early stages, you can keep it from going to its later stages. 80% of 80% of renal failure can be prevented.
Yes.
80% of renal failure can be prevented, but it's got to be caught.
Yes.
Early. Whenever you hear that statistic, remember, it still has to be caught early. And that's where early detection comes in, because you do not feel bad with kidney disease in those early stages. It's not until those latter stages. And
then we know, black people, we know. Black people walk around with our feet swollen. Oh man, I just had too much pig feet today. Too much salt today. No.
Exactly. Anytime your body is screaming at you when it's swelling like that. Exactly. Anytime your body is giving you, you're having things like that happening.
Swollen feet, wrists, your hands and ankles and all that. Something, it's like, I go to chiropractor sometimes. My wife always go. I go every now and then, but he always tells us, he say, hey man, look, people walk around in pain. That's not normal. It's not old age. It's not, you're not supposed to walk around your knees hurt. It's something that needs adjusting. We have to adjust, and they put you on, they do the thing, and they show you, the x-ray, and they show you all your bones, and this is out of line. If I get this in line, and I was amazed. I'm like, wow, man, I don't have that pain in my foot no more. And he didn't even touch my foot. It's something he did to just put you on these machines and stretch you a certain way. I'm like, dang, my foot don't even hurt no more. And you thinking that it's something else. No, it's you need adjustment. So it's like, if you see your feet swelling up, it's not normal. It's not a normal thing. If you see your wrist swelling up, say, oh man, that's because I ate a little bit too much. I had a sour pickle today.
There's nothing normal about inflammation.
No.
There's nothing normal. We can't normalize things that are terrible.
No. Go get checked. Get checked. Yeah. If something is not right, it wasn't there yesterday and it's there today, you have to be, conscious of that. You got to say, well, hell, hold up, something's going on. I have my legs is bigger than they were yesterday. So hit it up there right there. You can catch it real early and they can do something for you. So don't sit around and wait for it to go down. Because it might not go down.
A lot of people do that. Like with our health and kidney disease in particular, kidney disease is people discuss this all the time. It's like a secondary problem, and sometimes even a tertiary problem when you go to the doctor, because it's not that doctors don't want to tell you about your kidney disease. Kidney disease is seen, it's detected in the early stages, but it's not diagnosed until stage 3B. When you've had kidney disease in 3B for 3 months consistently. Well, in many cases, it'll show up in their blood work, and their practitioner will see it, but the practitioner isn't saying anything to them about it, or isn't driving home that there's a problem here. And so we have this phenomenon where people are crashing into kidney disease, meaning they are going into renal failure without ever having been told that they had kidney disease, even though it's right there in their blood work.
I have a friend right now going through this. He called me the other day. This guy, 2-time Super Bowl champion. And he'll call his name out. 2-time Super Bowl champion, played for the Denver Broncos. He called me the other day, said, man, I had to go to the hospital and my blood pressure was so high. And he said his ankles had got swollen. So he went to the hospital. They checked him out.
Well, I know he must have heard from you.
I kept him there for like 4 days. And so I told him, I said, hey, man, know your numbers, man, your EGFR, know what that is. He said, yeah, I'm asking. Then he started getting like defensive, hey, man, the doctor know what he's doing. I said, dude, I'm just telling you, sometimes they might not tell you. So he left the hospital, didn't ask the doctor anything about his numbers, about his kidneys. So they called him I think he called me last week, maybe Friday. And he said, yeah, man, doctor just called. He said, they checked and, my kidney function is normal now and everything good. I say, normal now? I say, it was abnormal before? Well, they say it was like a little bit. I say, what if your stuff is like maybe 1.5? They might tell you, your creatinine level 1.5. That's not normal, but they'll tell you that, okay, well, you good, don't worry about it. And that's what they're telling him now. You good, you're all right. But he don't know what his numbers are for him to be all right. You know what I'm saying?
And this is what Reginald and I, that right there is what we talk about all the time. There is nobody in any other industry that can tell you that. There's nobody in any other discipline in regards to your health that can say something like that. If you call the bank right now and say, how much money is in my bank account? And they say, enough. You're going to be like, you better tell me some real numbers, and you need to tell me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If it's your money, you would say that. Nobody, no practitioner should tell somebody they're good. When I ask you, what are my numbers? I need to hear what my numbers are. And I need to ask as a patient. Right. I've got to ask, what are my numbers?
Yeah, because you went in.
Tell me what my kidney function is.
Yes, because his blood pressure was through the roof. And he said he had swelling. I'm like, dude, something's not right, man. He said, well, it's because my blood pressure was. I said, dude, I understand, but that
why was your blood pressure up? And why was, it's like, oh, no.
And why were you swollen,
Now,
I
say this all the time about doctors. I'm going to say it right here on this. You can't have the reverence of God and the responsibility of a 4-year-old. If somebody is sitting in front of you and you are looking at numbers and you know doggone well what those numbers mean, tell them the numbers.
Yeah.
Transparency. That's where the word transparency comes in. People, every single person has the right to good health.
That's right.
I don't care what your race, color, creed, national origin is. That's what they used to say when we were kids.
You have to know.
You need to know what your numbers are.
Yes.
There are numbers associated with this. You need to know what your estimated glomerular filtration rate is. I actually had a doctor say to me, and I've had several of them say this, but I had one say directly to me, they should know what their EGFR is. I said, I didn't know what estimated glomerular filtration rate meant. And most patients don't. They do not. That is what we are paying you to tell us.
Creatinine level too, numbers too.
Did you know what creatinine was before you went into renal failure?
No.
Now you know.
Yeah,
you become an expert real fast. When you go into renal failure. What we're trying to do is make people experts now, because what did we find out? We've been waiting for decades for the experts to tell us what's up, and we haven't gotten clear, concise advice.
Thank you.
They flood the field with information and hold back. It's in the downplay that our health is being destroyed.
Right.
That's the problem. And
Yes.
so what we do is we were like, okay, well, you know what? Now I'm going to tell you, this is how my mind works, because I prayed through everything, and the one scripture that kept coming up was that I don't like anything lukewarm. If it's lukewarm, I spew it out of my mouth. And so when I was praying that, I felt, well, you're going to have to be red hot. Your little black behind is going to have to be red hot, Tiffany. And so, I just was like, okay, Lord, I'm just going to be me. Because I was trying to be, PC and just love everybody, peace and hair grease. And it was like, that's not working. You better tell the truth. That's it. Pull these 10 questions, get the best doctors together, have them help you come up with the 10 questions. They've already done it. It's somewhere in one of these studies. Right. Read these studies and tell your people what to ask. Since they're not going to tell people, tell the people, arm people with information
and you shouldn't be afraid. It was like he was afraid to ask the doctors, like he infringing on the doctor's privacy or something. Yeah, I'm like, dude, this
you're
your body,
insulting
man.
his intelligence. You're intelligence.
Ask, man. It's like, hey, what is my EGFR? What is my creatinine level? And so that and if you have a friend such as me that knows, I can tell you that, okay, man, look. Now your body is crying out, so you have to really be careful of what you're putting in it now, because
that's right.
You have that's a warning sign.
Exactly,
it's a warning sign. So it's just like when your brake sensors go off. You ride around with it.
Like you wouldn't do
you
that.
ride around until they start grinding like. Now you got a bigger problem now.
Yep.
If the sensors warn you, okay, go get your brakes fixed. You get them fixed. Now you ignore that sign. Now you got to get rotors and drums and everything now. So that's the whole the way to look at it. It's just like when that sign go off, you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
You have to do something about it.
And that's that was our main goal, is to teach people the things that they could ask. If nobody's going to tell you, we got to empower you with what you can ask, with knowing what your options are. That's how we came up with Knowledge to Action.
Yeah.
Like the Knowledge to Action, Neighbors Helping Neighbors 2030 Health Transformation. That is literally what it is. Knowledge to Action, we're going to give you some knowledge so you can take action. Because we're your neighbors and we're going to help our other neighbors.
That's right.
These people may not want to come out and do what is right. We're going to help them and you get the right information.
Yep.
And we're going to help them show you what you need to see.
That's right.
Not every practitioner is doing something they shouldn't be doing. I don't believe that. I believe that what the problem is a lack of communication. And we've got people who are in this hierarchical system where they're revered and nobody has the audacity to say, hey, I think you missed something here.
Yes.
I don't think I'm walking away. I don't know what you even just said to me. I don't understand what you just said. Can you take, the average visit with the doctor is 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
What they say they're supposed to be doing 15 minutes is one thing, but when you go and look at the assessments and evaluations of, okay, how many minutes are they actually spending with patients, is 5 to 7 minutes.
If that.
Sometimes
they get you in and out so fast they weigh you, take your blood pressure, and say, have you been doing what you're supposed to do? Okay, well, good. I want to see you back here now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I mean, so if that's the interaction, because you remember the interaction when we were kids, you go in the doctor's office, he ask you questions. Yeah. He knew your mama, he knew your daddy.
Yeah.
He knew, I remember your cousin, and you knew him, you knew.
Yeah. And on the way out, they gave you a lollipop.
Exactly. You always got a lollipop. Now that might not have been the best way to go with diabetes.
I know, right?
Even the doctors were setting you up, but they didn't know he was setting us up for diabetes too.
Yeah.
But
setting you up.
But no, please do not email me about that. That was just a joke.
No, they set you up.
But you know, it was a different time. You really had a connection with your practitioner, and trust was built.
Yes, it was.
But now you don't have a connection there.
It's like cattle now. You spend more time in the waiting room, you know, for your doctor than you do in the room with him. It's like they trying to get all the people in there. You know, they overbook, so they trying to get you in and out as fast as they can. It's like, okay, look, they'll show you some stuff, and if you don't ask them, what does it mean? Okay, you say my creatinine is 2.1. What does that mean?
Yes.
You know, EGFR is 60. What does that mean? You know, if you don't know, you just, you know, a lot of times, I used to just try to get out because I didn't want to hear no, you know, hey, I told you you're supposed to lose weight and you're not losing the weight. I don't want to hear all that, you know, and so I'm trying to, whatever he's saying, I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to get out too. So we both doing each other a disservice because I'm not trying to learn and he's not trying to tell me. He's like, okay, look, you just have to do this better. You have to do this better. You have to do this better. I'm gonna give you this medicine right here. Like, why are you giving me that? You know, well, it'll help with that medicine.
Well, and I've got to print out and just put it in the bag.
Yeah,
here you go. Take this bag right here, and you'll find out what's going on with you.
And that was a prime example of what we talked about, because I remember you talking about that before. And I told him, I say, dude, the same thing you telling me, man. This lady named Tiffany she said that's how it's done. And it's like you the blueprint of how it's done. It's you know, you just go in.
Your friend.
Yeah, he's the blueprint. I'm like, wow, man, it's almost like deja vu. It's
because it's not, you know, this is and that is a quintessential example of this is a systemic problem. When people talk about systems work no matter what. Yeah. It's not based on black, white, blue, green. It is, I've got a person in front of me. These are the 5 things we're gonna do. We do those 5 things, whether they're rich, poor, black, white, blue, green.
Yes.
We're gonna do these things.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened to that brother.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And it shows you whether you're an NFL superstar or Mike Johnson over here. Who details cars.
Yes.
The same thing is happening over and over again.
And he was happy because they got him on the blood pressure medicine, and the doctor called him and he said, yeah, your blood pressure is better. I'm like, first of all, how you even know it's better? Because you haven't even been to the doctor to take it again.
Right.
I know you're not taking it at your house. You know, so he said, yeah, man, because they got my medicine, I'm better now.
And all they told you is that you're good.
Yeah.
And they can be telling you that you're good until you're not.
Yeah,
you don't know any numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he could be good with a 1.8, you know, and that's not normal. But to the doctor, it's like, okay, you good now. Meaning that, okay, ain't nothing wrong seriously with you yet.